Mm.
All right. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. What are we doing today? Yeah, we're supposed to be diving into complexity, but there are a couple of complications. All right, let's just, we're gonna wait for a couple people to show up. Then we can get a proper start. I'll be cosplaying as Mr. Terrific from now on. So, the Boba Fett skin will show up occasionally, but right now, I'm gonna be Mr. Terrific because he's terrific. Um, yeah, okay. Let's see what we got. So, I suppose I owe you guys a bit of an explanation, and we're gonna delve into that. But if after that, and this is around 9 o'clock, we're gonna switch. Yeah, we're gonna switch. We're gonna go back and build this box truck. But I just wanted to look at this whole complexity mission. And one of the things that I realized very early on was the early parts of this are going to be exceedingly boring. Hey, good morning, Dirty. Good morning, Rooster. There, how's that? Much better? All right, much better. So, hey guys, what's up? Um, Now the early part of any really big build is boring as hell. It's only when things start to shape up that that it gets a little more interesting, as I'm sure you guys all know. So I don't want to bore you guys with all of the drudgery of what I'm gonna do, but I will do something in between. I'm going to start with an explanation of the project. And this is a little bit more fascinating. We're back in the Star Trek world here, and I've got a couple of areas gridded out on the ground below. This is my complexity map. So over the not over the weekend, but I guess they've been working on it for a little bit. But oh my god, I forgot his name. Over on Reddit, Lego Moxie has been working on. Well, he shared um, some a couple of things that led to a few discoveries, and it was led by Lego Moxie. But one of the guys picked it up. Oh, that's nice. Boat dock. Oh, custom boat dock. All right, let me see. Reddit is a very good source of information sometimes. Sometimes it's a source of a lot of annoying information, but sometimes you find some gems. Now let me make sure. Okay, so this user Quesonol has been doing some experiments based on Lego Moxie's findings. So he's actually testing out all the grids and everything. This is all about complexity. And the main one that started it was really this is okay. It is my iteration of the USS Enterprise, and it's made of wood. It's quite interesting, tiny. Um, Massive vehicle bug. Where are you? Complexity. The headline of this was I fixed complexity. Let me just do a search. Complexity. This may be a problem. Please fix complexity. Heads up. I beat complexity in Lego Fortnite. This was made by a user, that guy from Neptune. That's the one. That guy from Neptune. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I will share it in the chat. And you guys can go check that out. Have a great day at work, Rooster. Here, go check this link out. And in this, he actually starts out by showing the whole video and everything. I would share the screen, but I don't have it here. But I can read it from you if it's easier. I would like to start off by saying this theory was 100% from Lego Moxie. I always tune into his streams, and one day we got to talking about how complexity worked and how to theoretically beat it, which is when I decided to test this. I would have posted this earlier, but I had to place 32,000 pieces to test it. So the theory is that complexity exists in chunks or in tiles, which are all equal in size, and within each tile, only a certain number of pieces can be placed. I tested this and was able to place 4,000 pieces in a single tile. Also, by process of elimination, I determined that the size of the piece does not vary in complexity, meaning a small fence piece has the same complexity as a large wall. So go and read this. The size of the tile is exactly 16 of the 16, and he's right here. If you're going to measure 40 meters from point to point. Right here, we have, but you can measure 40 meters, and 40 meters is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 16 tiles. This is exactly 40 meters, 16 tiles, which is kind of feels to me like a key to the whole game, because if everything is based around a 16 count, it makes you kind of wonder, like, how much more can you break that down? But anyway, height of the tile goes above the floor level by 13 of the wall pillars, plus 2 floor pieces, and below floor level is 4 pillars plus 7 floor pieces thick. He traced the border of a complexity area. Now, Lego Moxie theorized that if there's a limit per tile, you should be able to place 4 times the amount right next to each other. If you can find the center of 4 tiles, this means 4 times the limit of 4,000 pieces. And this is exactly what I've done. I have a center of the 4 complexity zones, and I was able to find this. A little bit of work, but I was able to find this by going back to one of my most recent complex builds and following the center of the complexity zone. Thankfully, I had already marked it. So this right here is the center of my complexity zone. Right here. But so here, One of the things that you can do to find your edges is you go where you can build, and then you push in, and then you simply move outward until it goes green. That is your edge. This you'll find is in a straight line. Okay? So I went and I mapped out the edges of my complexity. So you can see it right here. It comes down the hill and it goes around. So you have your corners right there. And it just keeps on going. So you can see exactly where complexity lies over here. Over on the ship, there's no complexity over here, but this straight line still continues over where complexity lies. Down here, and then up to another corner. And you can measure every corner of this, and it's always 40 meters. Okay, it's very important here. It's 40 meters everywhere you go. So even down here, there's a little bit of deforming that happens over the mountain where you get some false numbers, but it's always 40 meters. So I've mapped those areas, and then I've taken from the center of it, and then following where that center is, I've mapped out more 40 meter zones. So this is a 40, this is a 40, that's another 40. Then down here, we start with another 40. So everywhere you see these poles, these are 40 meter zones. So I found a bit of a central area that's far enough from most everything else where I should be able to build comfortably. So I know this is 40 meters that way, 40 meters that way, 40 and 40. So I'm currently in the middle of this zone right here. And this grid should pretty much be the same regardless. So I think he's doing a bit of testing to see if it's identical across different maps. But if the theory is right, and so far a lot of the testing is showing that you can get more pieces in here, you should be able to build more complex stuff. The big question is, how does that take when it's spread out across the zones? Because as you know, with my Starship Enterprise, it's very much spread across the zone. I mean, hey, good morning, Haskins. Good morning, Mr. Biz. But for someone like Mr. Black and Mr. Biz, that Lego dude, um, this can actually be really useful because these guys build on the ground. And if they can find the center of the complexity zone, they can pretty much map out an entire island and know exactly where they can build, starting from the center point of a zone instead of like being on the center of two zones. On this one, as you can see, my complexity zone was right here. I was able to build out past it, but because that was right on the edge of the zone. I wasn't like in the middle of it or anything. I was right on the edge of that zone. So I was able to push out past the zone even further. But I couldn't just build wildly and then just fill it in. It had to be done carefully, kind of like being a printer, where I would have to go and like just do one line, then one line, then one line. It was absolutely ridiculous, but it was a bit of a lesson, especially since I had to go and pretty much just map out what I was going to put down beforehand on the computer in Illustrator and kind of map my levels out to make sure that it would be consistent. Can just go and slap things down. But because of the zone being right in here, it means that the zone also ended somewhere here. And these take up different zones. So they carry the complexity across different complexity zones as it is. So this is kind of spread out and it's taking the pieces in different places than where they were um, most efficient. So my aim is to restart this build. I mean, I technically should be doing this exact build, but I have a little bit of problem with seeing some good ideas and not being able to try to incorporate them. So yeah, that's a bit of my weakness there. I can't just go build the exact same thing. Who wants that, right? So this is where we are now. During all this time, me building the ship and doing all these different things, Mr. Black has been out there experimenting with circles, and Diego Martinez has also been doing the same thing. Um, Warding Works tested out a circle using a technique that Diego Martinez showed him, and that Abide guy had actually shown me a couple of months ago, but I kind of didn't follow up on it because it was like, oh, okay, well, that piece works to get the angle and everything, but how about this piece? And when I found the roof piece from what should we call it, from the supernova, it was all over because I mean that just gives not reliability, gives the ability to get your angle every single time. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's some supernova. Found this roof piece. This roof piece right here. When you use that to get your angles, you get the same result every time without fail. This piece right here. So I was actually experimenting with using this to get the circles because the whole idea is that if you take these and you can here down to the ground, the whole idea is that if you take an angle and then you repeat that angle, it's eventually going to circle back to itself. The biggest problem with this theory is that you're going to um, it's about the placement of the piece. So while you can get your initial piece, what you follow up with, no, is that like how you place this? It has to be the same at every other point. Otherwise, your circle is going to fail. And it will cause displacements. So if I do that, then I always have to place this piece. This is one from the edge. And that should technically take me all the way around. But, there's always problems and inaccuracies. So this is where the boring part comes in. While I can start with my test on building a newer, better enterprise, I do want it to be more circular. And right now I'm using the fence technique because it does allow a closer placement. Just ignore that one there. This is where we actually began. This does allow much closer placement of the pieces so that we get an almost seamless addition here. This is the base. I was just trying to make sure that it can actually match up, but I think this piece is going to have to eventually just get destroyed before we get back over here. but the rest of it is actually coming together quite well. And it's really about following the placement of these pieces. But this is the drudgery part. So, um, this is the really, really part. Hey Benzo, what's up? So, um, that's kind of an explanation of what we're doing here. We're going to be rebuilding a really complex ship in a very and right in the center of the zone. But I don't think this particular build is going to be as fascinating right now in its early stages. And I know it will bore a lot of you to tears. So and there's going to be like lots of mistakes just making the initial circle. Hell, just making the initial circle in regular without doing all of this is boring as hell. I mean, like I couldn't wait till I got out of making the circles, and that was without doing this bit. So, um, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up what I started on Friday, and I'm going to come take occasional trips back to the ship so that we're going to see progress of the ship, but that's going to be done. A lot of the big boring bits are going to be done offline, but you've seen the beginning of it, and we're just going to come back to it later and see the progress over the course of the week. So build some Lego store. Yep, let's go back to build the Lego store. Um, in the meantime, we get to continue building some more trucks and vans and other fun stuff. But it's it's kind of tough to really get into a big build like this because it is pretty big, and um, I don't think this is how you want to begin your morning. Listen to me complain about how I just messed up a circle, and you know what? Here's the fun part of this. Um, Let me see what I can phrase this properly. Um, yeah, I'm over here. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, yeah, there we go. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, okay. I think this is ready, by the way. So I think I'm almost ready to share this. Has anyone found the chopper in Odyssey yet? No, sorry, in Odyssey, in uh Battle Royale. Because I haven't played Battle Royale in over a week and a half, and I gotta get back in there. I know they've released a couple things, new missions and everything, so I have to get in there. But I'm wondering if anyone has found the chopper, because this is what this is based on, and I managed to come in and refine the cockpit even more so that it's not as clunky around the sides, and the pilot can now see from the sides and the front, which is much better. That was something that was really bothering me. I wish I could get a minigun in here, but alas. Okay, what was I going to show you guys? All right, the trucks. There we go. We have our Econoline van. Oh, wow. That was a big one. This is our Econoline van. Let us pull this one out. Put it over to the car. Oh, no. Come on, seriously? The downside of these vans is that they're so light. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Oh, no. All right. Okay, so I think I need to get this one over here, which means I have to take this out. But this is the Econoline van. It's got a different structure than the truck. Let's drive it over. Getting the steering section on this one was actually a pain in the butt, man. What's wrong with you, man? Come on, back it up. Thank you. It's got a couple things to get hooked on. There's your Econoline. I suppose I should sleep. So let me just take care of that so we can get back to daylight. No bed? Fine, let's take care of it. I have so many beds in here, I don't know where they are. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the trucks, and then we're gonna get into the build. See, 9 o'clock, as I predicted. So that's your Econoline van. This is your box truck. As you can see, we have the back all done, all opened up and everything. Of course, that's just a fake sliding door. I wish that we actually had working doors, but that is just how doors are currently set up. They melt as soon as they're in the game. They're flying. Seriously? Come on. No, wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. Okay. That was fun. Let's do that again. I don't have any front thrusters, that's why. Ah. Which is something that I aim to fix in the next iteration, by the way. I had a good thing going with... I'm pushing the bus, aren't I? Yep, I am. Wow. No, come on. Get out there. Driving, my greatest enemy. All right, let's back it up. Having thrusters only in the back for a truck is a terrible idea. Just in case anyone was wondering. It's like driving a truck or something. So it's usually best to build those things in. But I do have a really good structure in place now that we can count on. But let's take a look at this. If you note, I've actually had to put on 2 back wheels here, which was necessary because we were using the medium wheels and not the big truck wheels like this one. This one has the big truck wheels. These are the biggest that they have right now, and we need like this is a fuel truck, so we need bigger wheels. I mean, like really bigger wheels, because these are just not big enough. And those are the fastest wheels in the game. But there's our box truck, and of course we have the Volkswagen. Hope you guys are enjoying the tutorial for this one. Still just lovely build, and it has this one did give me a couple of ideas about the wheel structure on the trucks, which I'm going to try to implement, because the wheel structure and how this has room for thrusters and everything is super important. But with this one wheel structure, you can actually build a heck of a lot more stuff. believe it or not. Like with this, you can actually go on and build an ambulance or whatever, delivery vans, whatever you need. But it's all about this one wheel structure, and I'm gonna share that one with you right now. I think back over at the depot, we still have the flatbed truck, and the flatbed truck is simply the box truck without the box in the back. This is the one that started it all. Well, actually, Mr. Black has the one that started it all. So let me bring this on over, and then we are going to get started again. Because I did start the build, and we can do it again. Managed to actually simplify a lot of things here. So from the beginning, and this one does need to have two wheels, so I will incorporate that bit of design. Like I've always said, one of the failures or one of the downsides of incorporating Lego into Lego Fortnite is the fact that the size differences also mean that there's no consideration for how this would work in game, because it is simply not a consideration. So we're gonna start. No, I just forgot. My inventory seems to be full, so I'm gonna dump a bunch of stuff. Excuse me. This always feels like such a private moment. Should be doing it in a bathroom or something. Empty my inventory. Oh my god, I'm trying to do it the old way. They just changed up a core dynamic. And my muscle memory is trained to do the old thing. I mean, like, we've been doing this since 2023. Almost 2 years that we've spent emptying our inventories one way. So muscle memory is strong with this. It's almost like a core feature, not core feature, but a core dynamic of how we play. And they just took it from us in one go. This is so slow now. The worst thing is that you can't even hit the trigger button to continue. You hit the trigger just to start, and then to end it, you have to hit another button, which is really annoying, because to drop, you have to hit A, start it, start trigger, select all, drop, and not with the trigger button. Trigger button would have been good to actually implement there, but we gotta hit two buttons instead of just one. Slows us down. Like, do they want us to spend more time in the game or something? Jeez. I already spent hours in the game. Okay, there we go. Let's start again. Thankfully, there are no complexity issues over here. It's getting a little bit of lag with the amount of builds here. So I actually had to go delete one of the my buildings there, and my first Apache helicopter, because that was getting a little glitchy. I'll be honest. It was not taking off as it used to. So something got busted. I actually found that on one of my older builds as well. It was another Apache helicopter um, that was over in the sci-fi world. That was completely dysfunctional as well. The would try to take off and it would just like drag, and sometimes it would be locked to the ground. And I'm finding that a lot with some of the older vehicles. So there's a couple of really annoying things that they've done, and it's broken certain core parts of the game. Oh, this is the van. Okay, this is not the van. I don't want the van. I want the truck. Where is their truck? Well, the van is almost identical. Well, you know what? We haven't done the van yet. Let's do the van. The van is going to be based on the same wheelbase in any case, but just with a couple of changes. So one that's 32. One okay, so 16, 32, 12s. All right. I have to do some proper mathing. Get over here. Come on, there. You know what? Let me just make sure that my math is correct. Oh boy. Last thing I want to do is be called up on my bad math. So, see, 16. And then we have another 16 over here. There. That's the length of your truck. Right there. Now, the way that I simplified this is actually going to have to come into play after the fact here. So I got to take back 2 from there. So 1, 2. Perfect. This is a perfect length. However, the front is going to be different because the front needs to have a couple things in play here. You get there. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you know, I'm not using the flat pieces this time around. Flat pieces are no-go. File recent. There we go. There's the truck. All right, so this was like 2 from the front. So we're going to go back a little bit more and take off out of 4 instead. Machine blocks. Here we go. So add a 4. Keep in mind we still have to do the 6. So there's a 6, and there's a 6. Right, so there we go. That's the center part that we need to get right here. That's a little problem, isn't it? What was it I came up with? I had this idea. Oh, I remember now. I think here, let me see. Did I do it? Because we had this bit here. We need to get that center piece in here. So that is why that's going to work. So that comes out 2. Right. So this is why this is why this one works. Because we're given the space for the 2 right there. A little clunky. I mean, oh no, we need to have the two, nothing else. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. There's also we can get the our turn thrusters right where they need to be. And it's one of the biggest drawbacks of doing the build, the quote unquote proper way. There's just no space at all. Balloons. You just take a quick look under the hood. I said a quick look. Dang it! Ah, son of a. Really did. All right, let's get you back to the ground. It's supposed to be a quick look. Gonna hurt myself. You know, I sometimes wish that the vehicles would actually damage you. I know it's a bit of an absurd wish, but when things land on you, I wish it had like some kind of an effect. All right. Now, actually, now here's the important thing about this build, and you may be wondering why I don't just put thrusters inside here, and it's because I'm kind of trying to plan ahead a little bit, because some of the builds don't allow you to have those extra pieces, like the van, for instance. There was nowhere to put any thrusters except in the wheelbase. And being this thin right now is even worse. So one, so there we go. So this goes right here, right in the middle. And then we have another one. So we have two wheels that have to go back here. Not one. As much as it wants you to think that one is okay, it's not okay, man. The weight back here just gets, I don't know. It weighs differently on in the game than in real life Lego. So this is your truck base, mainly because you can actually get your thrusters, your turn thrusters can go on the side, on the back right here. These are your forward thrusters. Then you can get your turn thrusters back here. And everything's good here. So you know you have space that you can work with. And it's so much better. Plus you can add more turn thrusters for a better turn radius. Over here, not so much. In fact, you try to put thrusters right here, and you know what happens? It gets in the way. You just can't do it. The wheel is in the way, the wheel well is in the way, something's in the way, and it just doesn't work. See, there's nothing there. So there's reasons. Hashtag reasons. All right, back. Hey, Willie Pa. What's happening? You know, I really should be building this over in Mr. Black's world. I have enough trucks over in my world, but I did need to do the comparison. So, Mr. Black, your fleet isn't coming, sir. Fleet for all your balloons. Okay. Where am I? I am at the. We got the wheelbase down. We are good to go. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff that actually goes into building this thing up, and it just comes to a head right around this point. when it's three up. I really don't understand some of the instructions sometimes where they're insistent on just like stacking pieces and stacking pieces and stacking pieces. But here we are. So this is, like I said, my simplified model on how to get this done a lot more efficiently. All right. Now, how was everybody's weekend? I hope you had a good one. I actually took a bit of a break this weekend. Went up to what we call cottage country here. So I got away from the computers, got away from the um, pretty much everything. It was quite relaxing, if I may say so myself. And I do. I do say so myself. I say so a lot. Sometimes you just gotta get away. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody know. I'm sorry. That was just that's instinct. And they're always glad you came. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. Or maybe I can. I just don't want to. You wanna go where you can see troubles are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. If you don't know that song, you don't know that show, then leave right now. Oh no, that's oh crud. I made a mistake. Troubles are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. All right, let's try this again. So we got one up. That works out. Or does it? I remember the truck body itself was one of the more challenging things. So we had some issues with this on Friday, didn't we? Oh, yes. I have to go in and do a balloon in Mr. Black's world. I'm supposed to actually stream that. So, all right. I guess I can do that during my complexity build, a complexity area. So, Mr. Black, chalk me down for a balloon build tomorrow. I'm here building around the balloons. It's time to actually build the balloon now. But we'll have some nice infrastructure to go with it. Mr. Black's Fantastic Carnival. Surprised you haven't gotten the big top yet. Gotten a circus in there. Haskins, you gotta come in and build something though. With all the new techniques and everything, I'm sure you've got something brand new that you've cooked up. Oh, really? You don't say. Okay, I think I may have gone one too high here. Let me see if I can fix this right now. So it would be good to have this at the right height. I know most of the truck bed rests on top of stuff like this, but not all of it does. Just a matter of finding the sweet spot. I think I missed a sweet spot here on this one. So let's get back down to there. And I'm using a couple of pieces a little differently than intended. So I got to remember why I did that. Okay. I think I am. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 Uh huh. Uh huh. I remember now. Like it was yesterday. So 4 and then 2 on the outside. Right. There we go. That's the 2 on the outside right there. So I think this actually comes into play right here. See, this is when you go ahead and you do like a lot more building than you intended. And then a brand new idea pops into your head. Precisely Palm Paradise. Okay, up one. I love this vertical tool. You'll have to pry it away from my cold dead fingers. It is amazing. No. No, no, no. Absolutely not. Arr. I will fix you. Okay. Okay. Don't freak out. Just find a solution. Then we can move on. The entire beach of prototypes. I know the big top would have been amazing. Are we looking to do a September launch? I mean, it's just about back to school here. But back to school here has nothing to do with back to school there, or back to school in the U.S. because I believe the US kids are already back in. I think my kids have 1 week of summer vacation left. This is the final stretch. Then you're back to the grind. Okay. Let's get back to an even keel, shall we? So this was supposed to go around the base. That's not going to work. So then we take it up to the top of it. Fine. Let's get on top, shall we? So, top. Come on. Next section. No, don't want that. Okay, fine. Go back to that. Oh, here we go. I guess this is the base for this now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and 4. There we go. So that works. It's the front that's going to be trouble again, because the front is always trouble. But one of the problems I did have last week was that the truck itself, the body, was way too big. It looked more like a semi. So one of the things I've been working on is just refining some of that, so that it's not as semi-looking, not as clunky. Because it was a chunky boy. Trust me, it was big. 12. Then we got this piece again. Gotta fix that. We're gonna ignore the rest of that for now, because I want the base of it. There's the wheel well. How does the wheel well play into this? Wheel well aligns to the bottom of this. So that's gonna have to be like that. Is it supposed to align? But there's no need for that to do anything else. So 1, 2, 3, and okay. 1, 2, and 3. It's a lot wider than I anticipated, but that is aligned to there. So we're gonna roll with the punches. But don't enjoy the blows. All right, you here. Let me just make sense of this one first. It's supposed to be lined up with this a little bit. the edge of that. Perfect. And now this doesn't make sense. Why? Am I half a stud off? What's going on here? Huh. Interesting. So that is a whole 2 studs off. And that does not align with that anymore. So it aligns with that, but does not align with that. A little freaky. Of course, that is below. Okay. Mystery solved. So the wheel wells actually come out a lot further than I thought. My bad. Holy crap. This really come out. Okay, fair to say, I have not done this bit. Had something a little smaller on the first one. But, you know what? Always willing to adapt. So, let's go. Now, is it going to interfere with that? Yes, it is. Am I going to let it? Hell to the no. Let's see what we got here. We can always make compromises on the inside. Because we can have 6s take up some of that space. There we go. See? 1, 2. This way we don't actually have any kind of interruption in here. What would be ideal would be getting this last piece to be the right size. And we are coming... Lightning serves no purpose, except to, especially in creative, except to irritate the heck out of us. No purpose. All right, let me see. So I was looking at, son of a, filling that gap. So because of this, I can now look at it this way. Okay, so we can build up from here and then build the rest of it outward. So that is pretty useful. So let me see what we're looking at here. On the outside, 1, 2. Then this comes up, 1, 2. And this is just all about the wheel well. Now you see why the thrusters can't fit right in here. Because this is all wheel. And this is the actual cab. So best that we can do in on this side is just a front thruster. So I knew there was a reason. Just couldn't remember exactly what it was. But this cab will give us exactly what we need to build out the rest of the truck. Oops. There, take that away. And I think we can fill this one in now. And oh, hold on. Before we do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and place the roof piece of the haunted house. Remember to hit the like stream. Okay. Yo, come and save. No, this is Lego Fortnite. Roblox. Roblox only wishes they had the Lego license. All right, let's get the wheel in. Make sure that we have enough clearance. This is Lego Fortnite, and it kicks butt. It's a beautiful game. Every now and then you get a beautiful sunrise or just a bit of lighting just throws you off completely, and you sit there wondering like exactly what game you're playing. Then you remember. Oh, let me see how we did the wheel wells over here. Did I do them protruding? Yes, sir, I did. Yes, sir. So, let's get this out. Get this over here, and then we're going to copy this over, pop it on here. I do have to admit, Roblox has been getting pretty good with some of their expansions. You know, some of their games they have going on, but the core level of Roblox has some huge problems, and it's not somewhere that I want to go right now. A little bit of controversy, however you want to say it, around how they deal with predators, or not deal, as the case may be. It's got me very much concerned as a parent. And has the authorities actually stepping in to deal with the issue. It's nothing minor at all, except to deal with minors. So I'm kind of glad I'm playing in Fortnite, where we currently do not have those issues. I was a little concerned when they brought in that whole type to chat feature, because that has been abused so much over in Roblox. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, so there we have the wheel wells, looking kind of trucky. Now, oh, thank you for subscribing, Comos? Komosava. Ah, okay. I was there trying to read it as English. It's Komosava. Komosava 122. The new Fort Nurtures. All right, so we're gonna keep on building here. We got the front of the truck that we're trying to get. Now we have to get the bumper, and the bumper, it goes on right here, which is pretty simple. Just pop this on, then add this, And then you just add your pieces. Is this 12 or is this, what is this? Yeah, 12 and 12. So 12. 12 works. Into the middle. Should it be 16? Most feel like it should be 16. Well, that is pretty hefty, but not as hefty. Oh, yeah, okay, that works. Amazing. So 16 and then down to 12. Oh, this is the truck. So I think it had actually a completely different front part. Let me find that. You make the rockin' world go round. Take me home tonight. Dum, dum, dum. Oh, you're gonna take me home tonight. Oh. Yep, there we go. A whole different front section. So I'm gonna kind of undo this a little bit. And yeah, some of this still stands, at least the base part of it. Let me see how this begins. All right, I'm going to have to get that up here as a starting piece. You make the rockin' world go round. Only parts of that song that I am allowed to sing. Excuse me. All right, let's begin again. That's the front part of that. However, what do we have here? How high is it supposed to go? And when is it supposed to connect? Okay. I see how this goes. I see what's happening here. Face to face with greatness and strange. It's adorable. See this? Strange to see that some things never change. Dancing with the devil. Anyway, except welcome. I don't think I did this before. Oh. That is a little bit low, isn't it? Yep, that's a little bit low. Let's take that up half a stud. Okay, what is it supposed to align with? I think that's the main thing that I have to ask before I go any further here. When this goes on, what is it aligned with? It is aligned with the second tier. One, two. So above the wheel well. Okay, so there's that part. Then we have to go up two, which is a little bit concerning because this is really super high. And it's supposed to align to that. Ugh. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Deal with it. Fine. Deal with it. Sometimes you got to work backward a little bit. In fact, we got to work backward all the time. But that's Lego Fortnite for you. That's so high. All right, fine. Okay, let's see. So first two, then the gray pieces. All right, we got 6 in the bottom. 6 on the side. Six, 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 six. Then an 8. I did not do this before, much to my chagrin. Otherwise, we would end up with this. I think I completely skipped this part and just went my own way. Oops. Kind of like this one. Follow the instructions. All right. One. I'm just gonna double layer those guys. Because those are made of cloth. So as soon as they hit anything, they just fall apart. It's terrible. Terrible. We don't have any curved pieces, but you know what? We do have a license plate. So we're gonna stick that on there. So, you know, let's do a light blue license plate. They're from Florida or something. I don't know. We're good there. Stick that on. And then we have to put the lights on. Do we have... Okay, that's the front of that. We need to get the back of that. Lights go on to ceilings only. So you need to have your pressure plate backward. Is something that you're learning new today? Well, congratulations. Oh my God, it's 9:52. Sorry guys, I did not realize um, how slow going the complexity issue was going to be, especially building. I mean, like, it's one thing going and building a whole test area for the pieces and building up from there, but actually building with the pieces in game to see the limitations of it is a completely different animal. So I apologize if some of you were really looking forward to seeing how the complexity is going to play out. I mean, believe me, I was very excited. Now we're going to cheat and use the vertical alignment. No, it's not letting us do it. Come on. Come on. And yes. There, we have truck lights. Beautiful. 8 minutes ago, we have truck lights. And now the ability to get the rest of the cab. What happened here? Where did I make a mistake? Let me go back up a little bit here. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. That is low, isn't it? Yep, that's pretty low. Thankfully, it's not. Oh, no. Oh, okay. No, those stay in the same place. So that works out. However, these guys don't. You gotta be careful when placing your stuff. This is just, your basic lesson here. This is what I was trying to teach you all along. No, I wasn't. Truth is, I messed up. Put this down here instead of on here. So there you go. Now that's on there. Oh, I get it now. You weren't ever meant to exist. You were meant to be 4. So let's get Fortnite Forever. Get you replaced. With the appropriate piece. Now this can make sense. Uh-oh. That was my wife. Hello, hi, wrong number. uh, okay, there we go. That's more like it. So, got the 4. And we got the 8. Then we got the grid. Stack it twice. We got the lights on already. I think that we needed one more layer for this. And that should probably, so the lights are going to be in the wrong place now. And we need to go somewhere else to get white. There we go, white. And now that can go right next to the gray. So the lights have something to go to. Because we don't have the right type of lights that they're asking for. But the technique still holds true. It's just right now, you're going to have to kind of work in order to get the correct edge put the lights on. And that is pretty much it. We are out of time. I have to go to work now. I am the Mad Puck 66. I stream every morning at 8:30 a.m. till 10 a.m., which is when I have to run off to work. We stream live builds in Lego Fortnite, in Star Wars, Star Trek, fantasy, science fiction, and sometimes we do a little bit of Fortnite science. So this week we're messing with complexity. We will be rebuilding the Starship Enterprise, following certain complexity rules, and just demonstrating what we can do with the with a bigger complexity area that can potentially allow us up to 32,000 pieces by building from the center of complexity zones. Let's see if we can get a quick look at that. We cannot get a quick look at that. No such thing as a quick look around here. Let's take a quick look at that. We will be doing this. I will be building the Starship Enterprise offline, and we'll be checking in and seeing how the complexity is holding up. But thank you guys for coming in. I hope you get something interesting or informative out of the stream, and it's going to be interesting. But this thing can really transform how a lot of us builders build moving forward. I put a link earlier to the chat over in Reddit, where people are kind of experimenting and seeing how far it can go. So far, most of it has been focused around getting blocks in a certain zone and seeing how many they can fit. I'm looking at how the complexity spreads out once you start building in the middle. And with the Starship Enterprise, it's a pretty big build. It's longer than it is wide, and it's not centered in the middle like a lot of buildings would be. So, my primary concern is how much more can I get if I build from the exact center. So, I will be probably building Mr. Black's balloon tomorrow, and that should be interesting. We will check in with the Enterprise tomorrow, and then we're going to start building the balloons. So this week is Balloon Week and Complexity Week, all together. I will try to only build Mr. Black's balloon on stream, but there will be a new tutorial coming out for the truck showing you how to actually get that underway. But anyway, here's a quick look at Starship Enterprise. The rebuild. We got a lot of small work to do, especially to get the curve of the body. Yep, I'm doing circles in the sky. Anyway, thank you for joining, and I will see you all later. If you're new here, please leave a like, follow, subscribe. For all the rest of you guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Good morning.